They say tragedy reveals who people really are. And when the unthinkable happened, when Garrison Brown took his own life, fans of Sister Wives braced for a raw, emotional reckoning from the Brown family. But what we witnessed instead wasn't a father mourning his son. It was a man drowning in self-pity, blame, and entitlement. And it shattered whatever image remained of Kody Brown as a caring patriarch. Hey everyone, it's Helena from TLC's Sister Wives News, and today we are breaking down the moment that changed everything. Because Kody Brown's reaction to Garrison's death wasn't just shocking, it was sickening, and fans have had enough. When the cameras returned to the family after Garrison's passing, viewers expected grief, reflection, maybe even some accountability from Kody. But what they got was something else entirely. In a scene that should have been filled with humility, Kody turned inward. He started blaming the family's divisions, blaming estranged relationships, blaming everyone but himself. He didn't talk about who Garrison was. He didn't speak like a heartbroken father trying to make sense of the loss of his son. Instead, Kody used that moment to paint himself as the real victim. He complained about how he was treated. He talked about his own pain. He seethed with bitterness, not toward the tragedy, but toward Janelle. And the world watched in horror. Because let's be clear, Kody and Garrison's relationship had already been fractured for years before his death. And it all began during the pandemic when Kody used COVID protocols as a thinly veiled excuse to isolate himself in Robyn's home. He insisted the family follow strict rules that only Robyn's household seemed to meet. Garrison, like his brother Gabe, pushed back. He wanted autonomy. He wanted fairness. He wanted his dad to show up for everyone, not just Robyn's kids. Instead of meeting his sons with love, Kody met them with ultimatums. Obey me or lose access to me. And Garrison? He stopped trying. He grew distant, and the pain was obvious to anyone watching. But it wasn't until the aftermath of Garrison's death that the full cruelty of Kody's parenting philosophy was laid bare. Fans were stunned. Social media exploded. Reddit threads, YouTube breakdowns, Twitter outbursts. Everyone asked the same question. Where was the grief? Where was the remorse? What they saw instead was a man so consumed with being right, he couldn't even step outside of his ego to honor the memory of his son. And then came the blow that made everyone's blood boil. Kody sat down with Janelle, Garrison's mother, for the first time since their son's passing. And instead of offering love or comfort, he attacked her. He blamed her for their estrangement. He accused her of sabotaging his role as a father, as if she hadn't carried the entire emotional burden of raising their kids while he played house with Robyn. In a moment that should have united the family, Kody drove the wedge in deeper. This wasn't just heartbreaking, it was infuriating, and it marked the start of a much bigger truth fans could no longer ignore. Even death couldn't break Kody Brown's narcissism. Long before the Brown family shattered on national television, long before Garrison's passing exposed the fractures that had festered for years, there was one quiet force pulling the strings: Robyn. While the show often portrayed her as emotional and misunderstood, fans who paid attention saw something much darker: strategic control. And the most devastating part? She used Kody's love to do it. From the moment the family entered their Flagstaff era, Robyn began subtly but deliberately isolating Kody from his other wives and children. And when the pandemic hit, she found the perfect cover story: COVID rules. Suddenly, visits had conditions. Hugs had caveats, and the only household that consistently passed the invisible test was Robyn's. At first, it looked like caution, but it quickly became obvious. This was about control. Robyn wasn't just protecting her family from a virus. She was protecting her place as Kody's only source of emotional validation, and she did it by creating an unspoken rule. Access to Kody ran through Robyn. Even Mary, who had been cast aside by Kody emotionally for years, found herself oddly pulled into Robyn's orbit during this time, but not as a friend or equal. Robyn used Mary like a pawn, a quiet symbol of loyalty who posed no threat, someone who would praise her while not competing for Kody's attention. Mary was only welcome so long as she remained compliant and, most importantly, lonely, because Robyn didn't want sister wives. She wanted subjects. What she couldn't control, she pushed out, and no one resisted that control more than Janelle. Robyn never figured out how to handle her. Janelle was calm, direct, and fiercely independent. She didn't cry to Kody. She didn't beg for affection. She spoke up, and that made her dangerous. Robin, who constantly weaponized tears and vulnerability to keep Kody emotionally tethered, couldn't figure out how to manipulate a woman who didn't need his approval to feel whole. So Robin tried a different tactic, the family unity card. Any disagreement with her became a betrayal of the family. She reframed boundaries as abandonment and independence as disloyalty. In her version of plural marriage, unity only existed when everyone deferred to her. And Kody, he bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. Robin painted herself as the peacemaker, but fans saw the truth. She was the gatekeeper. And once she secured that role, she used it to build a wall around herself and Kody so high that even their own children couldn't climb it. This wasn't plural marriage anymore. It was a monarchy, and Robin had made herself queen. While Kody and Robin built walls of comfort and control around themselves, Janelle was waking up, slowly, painfully, to the truth. And what makes her story so powerful isn't just how deeply she was betrayed, but how fiercely she refused to collapse under it. Even in the face of unimaginable grief, Janelle stood tall, anchored by love for her kids and a quiet strength Kody never knew how to handle. For years, Kody dangled the dream of a shared life on Coyote Pass like it was just around the corner. They'd build, they'd settle, they'd grow old in homes side by side. Janelle bought in. She invested her time, her money, and her hope. She even gave up her rental home and moved into an RV on the raw Arizona land, something no one else in the family was willing to do. It was an act of faith, a woman saying, "I believe in this dream even if no one else does." But Kody didn't meet her with support. He met her with scorn. Rather than encouraging her, he mocked her decision. He complained about the heat, the dust, the lack of comfort. He made it clear he wasn't going to live in that RV with her. He wasn't even going to help. Meanwhile, Robin was settled in a massive luxury home, bought with the help of family funds, and Kody was there every night, playing house like it was their personal sitcom. The financial inequality became too loud to ignore. Robin had her house, her bills paid, her kids chauffeured. Janelle had land she couldn't build on, and promises that never materialized. And when she asked for access to her own money to finance her future, Kody balked. He wanted control over the assets, claiming unity but practicing exclusion. Still, Janelle didn't explode. She didn't sob on camera or beg him to love her. Instead, she calmly called out the hypocrisy. She told the truth. She held Kody accountable to his own words, and when she saw he wasn't going to change, she walked. Even in the aftermath of Garrison's death, her heart broken in ways only a mother could understand, Janelle refused to be gaslit. Kody tried to twist the story, to pin the estrangement on her, to shift the weight of guilt. But Janelle saw through it. And more importantly, so did the audience. Because Janelle's strength wasn't loud, it was steady. And Kody's failure wasn't just as a husband. It was as a father who couldn't even rise to the moment his family needed him most. Before the family's collapse was fully visible, before Garrison's tragedy and Janelle's heartbreak were broadcast to the world, Christine had already seen the writing on the wall. Years before the other wives were ready to admit what was happening, Christine saw the truth. Kody wasn't coming back. Not emotionally, not financially, not as a father. She was the first to break free, not because she gave up, but because she finally realized she was fighting alone. Christine had always been the heart of the family, raising kids with joy and warmth even when she didn't feel truly seen. But it was Isabel's spinal surgery that stripped away any illusion that Kody was still acting like a father. While his daughter faced a major medical procedure, terrified and vulnerable, Kody refused to go. He blamed COVID. He blamed travel. But fans saw what it really was. A man choosing convenience and comfort over fatherhood. He stayed home with Robin while Christine and Isabel handled everything alone. It was a defining moment. And Christine never forgot it. Then came the battle for child support. Another shocking reveal for fans who assumed the show's wealth would cover basic responsibilities. But no. After their split, Christine had to take Kody to court just to force him to provide for Truly. A father, who had earned years of reality TV paychecks thanks to Christine's emotional labor, had to be dragged into supporting his youngest daughter. And all the while, Robin's household thrived. New furniture, expensive art, endless dolls. Christine wasn't just seeing favoritism, she was watching an entirely different standard of care. So, she left, quietly at first. But as she shared her journey with viewers, the cracks in the family's glossy facade became more visible than ever. Christine didn't hold back. She spoke the truth with clarity and calm. She didn't smear Kody. She simply told the truth. And that truth hit harder than any insult could. In walking away, Christine set the blueprint. She proved that liberation was possible, that loyalty didn't have to mean martyrdom. And as Janelle and Mary followed in her footsteps, it became obvious. The first one to leave was also the one who finally woke everyone up. Christine broke the spell, and Kody never saw it coming. If Christine shattered the fantasy, Mary is the haunting reminder that obedience never guaranteed love in Kody Brown's universe. For years, Mary played the role Kody claimed he wanted: silent, supportive, self-denying. She legally divorced him so he could marry Robyn and adopt her kids. She defended Robyn on camera when the family questioned her motives. She swallowed public humiliation after the catfish scandal, all to prove she was still a team player. Yet what did that perfect obedience buy her? A cold seat at family gatherings and a husband who told the nation, "I don't consider myself married to Mary anymore." The betrayal was breathtaking. Even when Mary donned masks for COVID visits, wiped every surface, and followed every shifting rule, Robyn still managed to bar the door, claiming it wouldn't be fair to the other wives. Translation: Mary's presence threatened the private bubble Robyn had built for herself. Robyn's manipulation was subtle but devastating. Keep Mary close enough to vote in family meetings, praise her loyalty for the cameras, then ghost her when real intimacy was on the line. Whenever optics demanded a united front, birthdays, holiday shoots, tell-alls, Robyn draped an arm around Mary and called her best friend. But the minute the crew packed up, Mary was shunted back to the guest list, never the inner circle. It should have been obvious that Mary's currency was her loyalty as prop for Robyn's big, happy family narrative. When ratings needed drama, Robyn dangled crumbs of affection, promises of late-night talks, half-offered surrogacy gestures, tears about wanting the wives together. But once Mary's usefulness waned and the other wives exited, the mask slipped. Robyn stopped inviting. Kody stopped pretending. And Mary was left recognizing a brutal truth. She had sacrificed everything, only to be discarded when her loyalty no longer served their image. Mary's arc exposes the hollow core of Kody and Robyn's dynamic. Loyalty is demanded but never reciprocated. And for viewers who once saw Mary as desperate or naive, her quiet exit became a warning shot, showing exactly how little playing by the rules means when the rules were rigged from the start. As the Brown family fractured, one truth stood out like a sore thumb. Robyn's children lived in luxury, while the original kids, Christine's, Janelle's, and Mary's, scraped by or sacrificed everything for their basic needs. While Saul and Aerie enjoy a $1.1 million home, private schooling, endless toys, and full-time access to both parents, their older siblings were left to fend for themselves. Kids like Gabe and Garrison worked jobs in high school. Hunter, Madison, and Logan navigated college and military service without handouts. Isabel needed life-changing spinal surgery and still didn't get a plane ticket or support from her father. And truly, her mom had to take Kody to court just to get child support. But it wasn't just the biological children of Robyn who lived comfortably. Her older kids, Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna, received every opportunity: dance classes, new cars, designer purses, and apparently endless emotional and financial support. Meanwhile, Mary paid for Leon's college. Janelle's kids shared bedrooms. Christine was watching her kids grow up with nothing, while Robyn displayed shelves of porcelain dolls and abstract art in her custom-furnished home. The most insulting part? Much of it was paid for with family money, pooled from the original 3 wives who contributed for decades before Robyn even entered the picture. But when it came time to share, Kody and Robyn had a different definition of family. The disparity wasn't just visible, it was offensive, and fans never forgot it. As the dust settled from Garrison's tragic passing, what emerged wasn't grief, it was Kody's cold entitlement. Whispers swirled among fans that he had the audacity to ask for control over Garrison's estate, despite being emotionally absent in his son's final years. It was a chilling accusation, one that, if true, shattered any remaining illusion of fatherly care. Then came the televised sit-down with Janelle. Instead of mourning, Kody launched into rage, blaming her for the estrangement, raising his voice and centering his pain over everyone else's. No humility, no remorse, just more self-pity. That moment broke the audience. This wasn't a grieving father. This was a man still clinging to ego and control, unwilling to face what his neglect cost his family. Whatever mask Kody had left, it slipped for good. And in its place was the raw truth. He was never the victim. He was the wrecking ball. What we witnessed in the aftermath of Garrison's death wasn't the heartbreak of a father. It was the unraveling of a man who built his world on control, not love. Kody Brown didn't just fail his son. He failed his entire family by putting his pride above their pain, rewriting history to protect his ego, and pouring all his energy into defending Robyn, while emotionally abandoning the children and wives who gave him everything. This wasn't plural marriage. It was emotional abuse hidden behind religion and reality TV. Robyn was always the exception. But why? Why did her kids get the comfort, the money, the support, while the others were left behind? The favoritism was never subtle. It was a sharp knife that cut through the family one betrayal at a time. And now, even tragedy couldn't soften Kody's heart. It's time to stop excusing this behavior. It's time for accountability. Families like the Browns exist in real life, and too many suffer in silence. If you've ever felt unseen, unloved, or manipulated by someone who claimed to lead with faith, you are not alone. Comment below with your thoughts, subscribe to TLC's Sister Wives News, and let's keep this conversation going. We see you, we hear you, and we will not look away.